I'm Gavin McCraw, and this is episode 3. I'm here with
Aidan, and I'm on the baseball team.
Nice. Where are you from? Like, give me some background details.
So I'm a little bit from all over the place. Past 10 years of my life, I've grown up in Sydney, Australia. That's where my dad's from. I was actually born over here in the US, but then my early part of my childhood, I spent my time in Japan.
Nice.
So yeah, kind of a little bit mixed, and I enjoy that.
It's pretty cool. So obviously you played baseball, but did you play any other sports growing up? What kind of drew you to committing to baseball?
Growing up, I was a very active person, so played a bit of soccer. Rugby's pretty big in Australia, so I played a bit of that. A little bit of cricket growing up as well. And baseball is kind of all on top of that.
Yeah.
And then I think as you get older, you kind of have to, single out into one sport, I suppose. And baseball was always kind of my top sport, so my priority kind of went over to baseball.
Nice. So what kind of drew you to wanting to play in college, specifically kind of like in the US? Like, why Augie?
I've always kind of had the vision that I wanted to play, go to college in the US just because of the NCAAs, and also just to kind of experience it.
Yeah.
I think once I was probably 15, 16, that was kind of the main goal. I didn't really see myself kind of going to college just to study. I wanted to play a sport, something competitive, something meaningful. And then I guess I was kind of looking at schools with my mom. I didn't really know where I fit in because the recruiting process for being an overseas student's a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
So I reached out to junior colleges, Division 1s, Division 2s, Division 3s.
Yeah.
Augie was one of the schools that reached back. And then so I kind of came on a visit over here looking at 4 or 5 schools from all around, and kind of just stood out to me here. And I guess Augie has a really good baseball program. So that was also a pretty good selling point.
Nice. Why'd you choose to be a pitcher? And also what kind of practices do you have with being that?
I think growing up, I enjoyed hitting a lot. I was kind of a two-way, but I think when I reached out to Augie, I had more projectability as a pitcher just because of how I'm built. And in baseball, it's very much guys that are taller, guys that can move easier. So you play certain positions, and I've always kind of had a good arm, so I think my focus kind of shifted away from hitting onto pitching because there was probably more opportunity for me to play as a pitcher.
Yeah. Are you happy with your college career so far? I know you being a senior, season's got 5 weeks.
Yeah, we got about a month left, and then postseason, which hopefully we make. I suppose I think I've kind of switched up a little bit with how I pitch.
Yeah.
Over the course of the 4 years here, and I wish the way I'm going right now has been the best that I've been, which I would hope since it's my senior year.
Yeah.
But I wish I could have figured it out a little sooner.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of comes in with the vision that you want to stand out or you want to contribute to a team.
Yeah.
And probably my first couple of years, I didn't do that as much as I wanted to.
Yeah.
But this year, I kind of figured that out and kind of just really wanted to have the year that I wanted. And it's been good so far in a sense that I've been able to contribute to my team.
Yeah.
And I've been able to play a lot and kind of be one of the guys that people want to rely on.
Yeah.
So
it's great. What number do you wear?
21.
Is there a reason you wear 21?
Not particularly. Kind of growing up, I was always in the 20s somewhere. When you get to Augie, it's kind of older guys get the first preference with jerseys because they've been here longest.
Yeah.
My freshman year, I was stuck with, I think it was 33 maybe, and then sophomore year rolled around, 21 was available. I think at the time I was 21 as well.
Yeah.
So I kind of said, kind of works out, and then kind of just kept that number since.
Nice.
Yeah.
So being a senior on the baseball team, you guys have a pretty big group. What role do you feel you have both on and off the field with your teammates?
I think kind of just being a leader. Kind of just even like the little things, because when you come in as a freshman, you can be very overwhelmed. There's a lot of things going on. You don't really understand the process.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of the times as well, I remember when I was a freshman, the game really speeds up on you really quick. And even like you might be afraid of failing or afraid of what the coach might think.
Yeah.
And I think the older you get, you got to learn that stuff doesn't really matter. It can only control you.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of one point that you teach the guys. It's like just slow the game down, do what you're capable of, and don't really need to listen to the outside noise. So kind of like little advice like that, and then also just leadership on and off the field, how to interact with teammates, how to play the game of baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's had a big impact in your baseball career? Could be a coach, teammate.
Good question. I think for me, the biggest impact on my baseball career was kind of where I grew up. So I started playing in Japan.
Yeah.
And in Japan, baseball is one of the biggest sports they have. So I was kind of surrounded by it everywhere I go. There was a baseball professional team 10 minutes away that would go to probably 20 games a year. So that environment definitely had a huge impact. And then kind of just my parents just telling me to just pick a path that I enjoy. You know, and baseball really stuck from me from a young age. So they've kind of always been my biggest supporters. I wouldn't say I idolize anybody in baseball, but kind of just growing up in that environment, just really enjoy playing it.
Nice. If you could give a few words of encouragement to like upcoming college athletes, like baseball or not, what would you have to say?
I would say just kind of enjoy it, because I feel like my 4 years here has absolutely flown by.
Yeah.
Like before you know it, your freshman season's over, you're moving into your sophomore year, and then before you know it, you know, you're almost graduating, and then you're graduating now this year. So I would say like take every practice that you do, every game that you play, not for granted, because every day you play, every day you train, every day that goes by is another day that, you know, you're giving away. It's another day of your college career that's ending. So I would just say take every day for granted, kind of just, I suppose, just enjoy it while you can. Don't just be like, oh, I don't want to go to practice.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy it, have fun with it, because it's going to be over before you know it.
Yeah. Do you have like a memorable game you had? Could be college or
so like college or anything.
Yeah.
I think for me it was probably my sophomore year. I kind of hadn't played too much up until that point.
Yeah.
And a couple of our teammates were struggling on the mound, and I finally got my opportunity. I think we were playing. It's towards the back end of the season, but we were playing U Mary.
Yeah.
At Augie here, and I kind of did really good. And I think that was kind of the first outing I had here where it was like I contributed, I did well, put myself out there. And that was actually the week before my dad came as well.
Yeah.
So then I kind of went on a little run that following 2 weeks, little stretch while he was here.
Yeah.
So I was really proud of that, being able to do that in front of my dad. And I guess that's kind of the first memory I have of Augie baseball. So I would say that was kind of the stepping stone, and then I suppose this year. Oh, and then also that year we ended up going to Cary, which is a pretty cool thing. That's the end goal for D2 baseball. It's the World Series.
Yeah. And
we played Mankato in the Super Regional here at the Ronk, and I think we won that in a 3-game set, and we dog pile, and it was just a great feeling.
It's awesome. Yeah. You got any like favorite? Obviously, you don't idolize anybody, but you got a team or a player you root for in the MLB?
Not particularly in the MLB. I kind of just follow it.
Yeah.
There was a team growing up in Japan that I followed heavily. They're called the Chiba Lotte Marines, right near where I lived. But in terms of the MLB, I kind of just follow it for the sport, kind of just you know, see how players are doing, follow their socials. But I wouldn't say I'm honed in on one team. I might hop on the bandwagon from time to time based on who's doing well, who are the underdogs. So yeah, I would say that.
Yeah. Kind of last thing, just do you have any idea if you're going to stay involved with the sport after you graduate and retire from your college career?
I think I definitely want to. Growing home, I grew up playing for a team my whole life.
Yeah.
And they would happily welcome me back. Kind of just a local, more of an amateur league team.
Yeah.
But from that, if you're doing well, you can kind of play for the Sydney Blue Sox, which is the Sydney team of the Australian Professional Baseball League.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of connections there. It's kind of a matter of a lot of college guys who come back. And if you perform well, you do well, you're kind of involved with that organization, and then you might even play for them.
Nice.
But I definitely want to stay involved in baseball. And I suppose I stand out a little more back home because competition isn't as vast or great as the US.
Yeah.
So maybe I can have a little more of an impact, I would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you being with me. It's great to talk to you.
You too.
And we'll see you guys next week.